Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2 from the Dreamhack Masters Fall 2021 Finals. A classic Terran versus Zerg, a bit of an underdog story for one of the players, and you'll probably know who. But let's first introduce the Korean juggernaut. Fighting for Dragon, Phoenix Gaming, the man with a plan, and most of it is to not let you do yours. It's Dark. And on the other side, the challenger here, by all statistics, fighting to survive in this high-profile tournament. The Chinese Terran player is Time. We didn't have time to get a... Okay. And also one of the most confusing / fun / infuriating to cast. Time versus Showtime. And then winner plays game time. Time is, I haven't watched too many of his games lately. So, I could just put your yada 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 3cc Hellions. He's a bit of a macro player. But to be honest, in my experience, he is a bit of a macro player. I don't know any distinctive characteristics at the moment, though I'm excited at the possibility of having new ones. Hasn't really found the opportunity to stand out as much as other Terrans. Honestly, it's very easy. Unlike Protoss, who you fall into two sort of dramatic camps. Between the YOLO Toss, who are missing a few, or have added a few extra brain cells, and the more standard, like, Shield Protoss. Terrans are kind of like, are you super cheesy, or are you standard? And super cheesy Terrans usually don't get too far, as they get figured out pretty quick. So right now, Time is going down that standard route. Believe it or not, a Reaper fighting 4 Zerglings at the natural after a hatch first. We've never seen this one before since the last TVZ. Now, the real question will be, is he a Hellbat aficionado? Okay, is he... Honestly, I want to take this opportunity. I know Kira's not here. Wait. Oh, some Reaper micro. I know Kira's not here, but we're going to take that opportunity. Cure recently did a Hellbat push in GSL. You might be like, Winter, I thought you said they were bad. No, Cure, the blue-collar genius he is, he's like, not just medevacs, but what if I also brought SCVs to repair? So that way I could get healed and repaired. You might be like, isn't that an exploit? No, that's called being a strategy gamer. Cure, of course, innovating again. Understanding the value of those hardworking SCVs. I don't think we're going to see that this game. I just want to take some time to point that out. I'm looking forward to taking a closer look as we wait for the 3rd command center to finish. And Time's going with the 3cc. Dark, on the other hand, nothing out of the ordinary. He's got a later Zergling speed because he favored getting that 3rd hatch up. We're on Romanta's side, which is about as macro gets. It looks like a 3-2-1-1 here. 3 CCs, 2 barracks, 1 factory, and a starport. But with a little extra on the Hellions for flavor. There are a lot of different directions you can go. They all end up in the same general area. But it looks like a few Hellions for Time, just to keep control of the creep and make sure he doesn't get overrun by the Zerglings. Hellions on the red side. I like this as well. Like, a lot of players are always looking... Like, a lot of players have in the back of their mind, like, maybe I'll run in and get a dozen drones. I mean, it's 2021, not 2012, but who knows? Occasionally it happens. But splitting the Hellions to try to snipe creep tumors isn't a terrible strat. The Zergling for Dark gets in. He sees 2 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport, and a 3rd command center. So Dark knows exactly what he's dealing with. And that might change a little, though, as the armory is on the way. But not just for a straight-up Hellbat push, but in support of the double medevac stim. Baneling nest is on the way. Spire. The Mutas looking to join us. Honestly, I've seen a lot of TVZ lately, and the Spire feels like, while a risky option, the best one for actually getting any map control against a good macro Terran. Because the ability, like Wings and Banes, at some point suffer from diminishing returns. And now, despite their wings, Zerglings cannot fly, a major design flaw in my opinion. So that means getting into entrenched positions, third bases on Romanticide, for example, is always going to be a tough time. But the Mutas allow you to keep the medevacs off the map and potentially clean up anything that allows Terran to move out. Of course, the Mutas aren't here yet. It's going to be up to Brenda's knitting crew in order to defend alongside some Ling Bane. Baneling speed's still pretty far out, but these are unupgraded, uncombat shielded Marines, which means a couple Banelings getting a little close for comfort means that comfort will become irrelevant because the Marines will be super dead. Something to point out, Dark is getting Muta upgrades before he's getting the Evolution Chamber, so he is committed to this. Time, on the other hand, is not worried too much about getting damage done. He's sharking around looking for fourth hatcheries, but Dark is always someone who doesn't overextend. Like, he is willing to sit on 3 bases a lot longer than many Zergs. Many Zerg players will just go take the fourth and then feel obligated to defend it, despite a lack of upgrades, despite having that lair tech. But Dark understands that until he gets Bane speed and until he gets Mutas on the field, that defending a fourth is a little unrealistic. He's got the whole train of Mutas flying around the corner of the map. Time. I think he smelled him. As Dark not taking a fourth with heavy Ling Bane, not showing any other lair tech units, that is a bit of a tell. Sometimes a lack of information is information in and of itself. Tom working around the right side. He's also got a Widow Mine drop into the natural. Drilling Claw's already done. 12 drone kills. The Muta's finding a few idle SCVs, the ones producing, but the medevacs with the mines. That one fires a little off target. Time retargets and finds a hit. 17 kills. Oh my. 17 drones. Now, Dark had 70-something, so we had some drones to spare, but almost getting a second shot are the mines at the natural. Dark not cleaning these up particularly quick, which means he's not re-creeping. Oh my god, that mine on the high ground. Oh! Time with the well-placed counterattack will buy a lot of himself for himself. And now he can move out on the map once again. 1-1 on the way. 2-2 has already started. It looks like we're going to have one of those Heart of the Swarm style classical Terran versus Zergs. We've got Marines, medevacs, mines, and then soon, well, Drilling Claws is already done in 2-2 against the Moodling Bling. And usually where this ends up is either the Terran is able to get towards 3-3 and has a very anti-muta composition, and the Zerg is not able to get to that hive tech. Or the Zerg gets to hive, and then maybe we slowly transition out towards more late-game army, like Ghosts, Lurkers. But the problem with Mutas, like, obviously for Zerg, is they're expensive. These flying Zerglings over here, they may seem pretty flimsy, but they cost double the gas of a Hydra. They severely hamstring your ability to go for more tech. Oh, the hidden Widow Mine, but, oh my god, the engineering base. Usually a pretty safe location, not this time. +2 armor, under attack. +2 armor is
denied.
Any amount of upgrades. Unfortunately, the Thors are flanking. The Marines are moving to intercept. Getting that +2 armor was good, but losing 5 mutas for it? That's borderline worth it. The armor affects every single unit against the Mutaslings and Blinks. It's a big deal. That's not a wall time. It's just kind of like a... It's like a tower defense game. You can't wall them off all the way or they'll just go through it. Actually, that might have been the thought process, because it worked perfectly. Instead of going through it, they got funneled into a concave. Time has been controlling the creep pretty well on the north side. Hive is on the way. Dark, undeterred. He's not going to be able to break that location. How many mutas? He's got 17 mutas. That's the money number. I'd say right between 15 and like 22. That's enough to one-shot Widow Mines, Medivacs, take down turrets quick. But without making your army so muta-heavy, it'll explode at a few Widow Mines getting the right angle. You need to have that critical mass, but overcommitting is just as dangerous. Widow Mine at the back, and oh, Time just snipes the hatchery. Great tactical moves here. Out of Time, making space out on the map, knocking down a hatchery. He swings to the right. Dark bites, and to the left. Time with his main attack. Thor's in the back, Hellbats in front, Marauders holding the line, Marines splitting behind. Creep is all over the place, though, and just the Thors remain. A few Queens transfused. Time cleaned off the field, and only darkness remains. Muta's getting a couple. He might be able to get a little bit of Thor stutter. Now, Time may have lost the battle, but the war is still very much in doubt. A good defense, maybe a little bit of an overextension, especially since so many of the Marines were committed to the right side. But every time, now this is very sad, every time a Baneling attacks, it dies. So, and it doesn't show up on the unit's lost tab in an awkward quirk. So all that gas that goes into beating back these attacks and clearing up Marines is gas that can't be sunk into more upgrades, more mutas, or more Banes, of course. So, even if Time isn't able to break through, if he trades pretty well against the Banes, that could be a long-term option. Well, as long as it doesn't lead to a counterattack. And right here, yeah, the mutas are tearing down the wall. Oh, the Thor biting off a little more than it could chew, and it can chew a lot. It's a large mouth on the Thor. Moving on. +3 flyer attack, as well as +3 infantry weapons, plus the armor upgrades have gone by the wayside as they became staggered out. A few Banelings trickling through. Gonna find a mine. Another one burrows in front. Mutas finding their way back home, healing up. Still a couple Thors. Armor upgrades for the mech, which affects both the Thors and the Widow Mines and the Medivacs. Just keeping them all intact. +3 armor starts now, but the usual sticking point for a Zerg is not here. Dark sliding right by it, as he's got +3 flyer, as well as +3 melee attack on the way. So his upgrades will not be significantly behind. He'll be able to keep up with the army. The problem is he needs to bring the right amount of units to bear in the right spot. If you look at the supplies right now, they're good. Dark has money in the bank, as does Time. But Dark is losing bases in production here. He can't actually bring his units together and consolidate into a meaningful attack right now. Time is doing a great job of zoning him out and just kind of isolating and killing bases. Because the mutas can't really fight without the Zerglings. They're going to lose. Doesn't matter what attack upgrades they have if they're dead before they get any attacks off. Dark is going to fill in a few dozen more Banelings. Once again, attacking onto the creep. A great spread coming out. Now stimming forward, clumping up a bit, but Time moving back, trying to zone out the mutas. They're going for the command center enclave over here. Meanwhile, Banelings crashing through the front lines. Widow Mines not finding huge connections, but only Banelings are left over. There's not that much anti-air outside of the Thors. Couple Liberators isolating a base and denying mining. The mutas are going to win the fight, clear up 3 command centers. The turrets are down for the count. A bit of a base trade. The Thors look like they'll be the only thing left standing in most of this fight. Well, he can pick them up. Time loses everything but a handful of Marines and a Thor. He also loses 3 command centers, as well as all the SCVs involved. on the right side. It wasn't for free, though, of course. As right now, Dark, he's only mining from 2.5 bases. Time is about the same, but Terran is usually a little better suited to mining from a lower amount of bases. Remember, Dark is an expert at this style of play, even if it's with mutas. Dark is one of the best players at playing with minimal income. He's built up, like, he still has the minerals in the bank. Partially because he doesn't have the larva. I don't know where the queens went. He's only got one queen. He had the queens in the fight. He has to rebuild them. We all know the value of queens here, and Dark does as well. It's just some of them got drawn into the fray and did not find their way out. Both sides still 200 supply, but the defenses have been softened up, and now striking towards the heart of the swarm as well as the economic heart of the Terran. Down goes another orbital. Widow Mines forced to burrow defensively. Meanwhile, the main force of the Terran army moves forward. These are really the only fresh mining bases. Time will be maintaining that forward base. He has multiple command centers. Time gonna maintain enough income. The mutas are on his production. A Thor pops out. A couple Widow Mines, though. Dark is looking the other way. Terrible, terrible damage onto the mutas. The ridiculous Terran spread has just ripped through all of Dark's mining. The counterattack a bit desperate. The muta count with +3. But if Dark comes home, now that he's killed essentially all of the economy, he's now... Time has secured another base with a planetary. Couple idle medevacs over here. The supply is still slightly in favor of Dark. I believe Burrow is done. It looks like some burrowed lings out there. Dark is long distance mining, which doesn't really seem like a great long-term option. Oh, there's still some Widow Mines out here. You gotta be a little careful. Those are like, he's sniping them. Oh my, those +3 mutas do a lot of damage. Those Widow Mines have +2 armor upgrades, but just easily, it takes a little effort, and that's the most important part of this stage. But Dark snipes off a bunch of the Widow Mines. The mutas are coming across again. These mutas require a strong hand. Another command center with no building armor. The command center easily shredded. Knocked out of the sky. A Zergling unburrows to do what it can. There's Baneling Mines. Oh my god, Dark! What a play! Knocks out. Is that enough, though? It didn't do nearly as well as one might think. I appreciate Time holding off the instant counter scan after the Baneling Mines. Dark undercut maybe enough of the anti-air, especially since those mutas are +3. The Thors are gone. Reinforcements are stemming to the front. The muta count, many of them bruised. A few of them down. Supplies dipping. Queens pulled into the fray. Is the anti-air there? Trying to draw Widow Mine fire onto the Marines. Succeeds. Knocking down Queens. The muta count is dipping, but so are the Marines. The medevac's nearly out of energy. Another Thor marches up. That could turn the tide. The game on the edge of a knife. A Widow Mine shot or a Baneling. Dark still with a nice amount of workers. Time down to 45, but he does have more locations mining. Does he fight 4 turrets? Time taking this. There's only 1 turret at the forward base. Queens, though. The Terran army is looking difficult to beat, and that's why Dark is not picking a fight. If he... Burrowed Banes are still a real threat out here. Burrowed Banes undercutting so much anti-air. Well, killing the Marines and maybe the mines. Are there enough Marines at home? Does he have any armor upgrades? He's 3-2. Those are the best upgraded mutas I've seen in quite a while. Dark is leaning on the Mutalist, and so far, they've been able to carry the weight. Denying Time is now supply blocked at 135 over wherever he ends up. SCVs transferring, drones transferring. To where? It's unclear, but he's just gonna fight these turrets. He goes for the center turrets first. Meanwhile, Time feels obligated to come back to defend us. This is essentially all of his mining here. There's a handful of patches left at the third. Trying to outflank flying units is not an easy... Oh, Dark trying to run the gauntlet. Oh, he gets shaved off at the edges. Widow Mines triggering on a Zergling, which is about the best case scenario. Snipes a medevac. The Muta Micro is everything. The Mutas, whatever they get a piece of. Their Widow Mines burrowed at all the bases. Dark is long distance modding with Widow Mines denying his bases right now. Mutas are on the way. Scans coming forward. Time might be able to march across and close this. Oh no. Time may have reached... Have reached check. Time may have reached check. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. Dark's mutas have done so much, but also not enough. Every muta... He can't replace these. It's not like Time has a lot of mining. But Time is on his side. As the mutas aren't getting much better here, and he can't really afford it. The turret's just dead. Okay. This is a lot of SCVs. Like, Time is coming... He missed an opportunity, or he just held on to it. I'm not sure if he noticed, but 10 more SCVs go down, as does the planetary. But more drones. Like, right now, the army of Dark is... Oh, come on. A Hail Mary. Oh, my... That's so many Banelings. He's trying to drag him over. He gets a hit. And this is the one time... Oh my god, a second hit! The one time someone doesn't go for the insta-scan is the one Dark recognizes his weakness. He triggers 2 waves, and that turns everything around. The supplies are now even. I can't believe it. The one player who doesn't instantly scan, and he gets punished for it. Oh, he's gonna have nightmares about that. There's still more Banes, by the way. What a player, Dark. Making do with what he has. Oh, Time still has a deadly army. He's marching, and I don't think at this point he's going to be deterred. He's scanning forward. There's still any amount of Widow Mines, which are a real issue to deal with. There's only one overseer. The drones are out on the field. The Baneling mines have been unburrowed to go for the final fight. The Thor in the back. The Baneling's closing the distance, but the attack moved into a Marauder. Oh my god. Those Banelings, well, the mutas win the fight. Time forced back. There weren't enough Marines. And wait a second. With 24 near max upgrade mutas, I think Dark has done it. What a play. Dark is long distance mining from his 4th to his natural. But the muta ball... I mean, okay, alright, Time has mules for now. How many orbitals are left? 3 orbitals. I mean, orbitals are at a premium with how Dark has been using those Banes. Do you even repair, like, the Thor's coming up? Oh my god, they do so much damage. He's just going for it. Oh, he got it. He got the orbital. There's another orbital. What a game. The Baneling mines have made the difference. Oh, another... He does so much... Those mutas do so much damage. Time is refugee mining here. Whatever he can grab, including the mineral walls, which are also important for just staying around. Like, Time is continually scanning, wondering if Dark has more mining than he looks like he has. And he doesn't. He doesn't. This is all he's got. It's just one Thor. It's just... You can fight one Thor. Oh yeah, like, he just goes. The Thor's down. The Thor was the only thing giving some zoning capability. You cannot underestimate those mutas. Nobody, like, no Terran is used to fighting mutas this well upgraded. And also, of course, this well controlled. Is Time just giving up? Time is just going. Dark has forced him into an all-in. If any of those... He needs to target the Banes. He doesn't. Dark turns it around. What? What a game. And Time was playing very, like, it wasn't perfect micro, but Time was making huge moves. Time was the only player. He's the only player I have seen from bronze to the Dreamhack Masters final brackets. He's the only player who gets hit by a baneling mine and doesn't instantly scan. Everyone does it. Everyone knows that's what you do. But the one player who doesn't is the player who Dark decides, how about second baneling mines? I'm not entirely sure if Dark was putting all his banes in one particularly explosive basket, or if he was literally reacting to the fact that Time didn't do the insta-scan. Because either way... What a game. Oh, that hurts for Time. Like, he was playing a great map. And Dark just slipped it right out from under him. In every sense of the phrase. Dark showing why he's a multi-time world... Well, he's a world champion. He's a GSL champion. Looking to be a Dreamhack champion. He may have already been in the past. I'm not sure. He's got too many, all right? And that's why... Like, let's look at his stats here. He does so much with so little. Why don't my units do that? Why don't my mutas win the game? When I go mutas, I look away for 3 seconds, I look back, and I ask myself, did I have mutas? I think we've all had that experience. Even with 3-2, the Widowmines still... Like, the Widowmines do the same amount of damage. They are spell damage, such as it is. Dark is playing the... Like... He's playing Inspiring Zerg here. The kind of Zerg that is dangerous to emulate. Because trying to go up against a Terran with that, like, with that sort of multitasking with mutas is always a risky endeavor, but you love to see it. In Time, like, I don't even know where he went wrong. You might be like, when the banelings hit his Marines. But, like, usually that's not the where it all starts going wrong. Usually there's some extra steps in that process. But honestly, I don't even know how you deal with mutas that are that low. You can only do damage control. You can't really deal with the mutas head on. Because they fly away. Like cowards. Like, they literally have an ability to heal quickly, so that favors cowardice. That's one of those games where I think maybe building armor was a legitimate choice. Like, getting building armor. So that way the mutas couldn't kill your turrets. Like, high-sec auto-tracking is good, but building armor to make sure your command centers didn't die to mutas. Like, what a weird scenario to be in. Alright. Well, looks like Time's gonna do the same build so far. Dark, gonna follow the same script as well. Oh, okay, we all know. We know who Clem is. Time, not Clem. Believe it or not. What a beautiful game, though. That was some real nostalgia, that last game. Except it was mid-late... It was DreamHack Fall 2021, not DreamHack Fall 2014. Looks... Oh, a Banshee. I do like the Banshee. Like, Dark is well known to go for Roach. If he thinks he can just kill you. Dark is one of the bounty hunters of Korea. There was a time before players like Neeb and Special and Scarlet were regulars in GSL. Occasionally, someone would show up to GSL. I think Special the first time. if I remember correctly, which I probably don't, experienced this, is that Korean players would just cheese the bejesus out of them. Dark was a repeat offender. Like, oh, you want to come to Korea with all your silly build orders? One base roach all in. And then they'd be all flustered and lose 2-0, and it would go terribly, and everybody's disappointed. Dark, definitely a fan of that sort of strategy. You prepared for the late game, you fool? We don't do that around here. Wow, what a beautiful grenade that was. Synchronized explosion. The queens felt like they could fight. Shh. Shut up. Barracks following it up. It looks like we're going into a bit of a gentleman's macro game. Just 3cc. Dark reaching out for a 4th and getting Evo chamber upgrade significantly quicker this time around. Time's going to be a little behind on the upgrades. Getting some creep to the main. Always a priority. Oh, wait. Are there Hellbats? No, just straight up Hellions. Spore Crawler shows up to the party. Gonna fly by, but Dark made an extra Spore upon realizing Banshees were a threat. So, losing a Banshee and the Hellions. Killing, let's see, 1 drone. I'm gonna go ahead and make a call and say that wasn't enough. That was not a good trade. That was bad. And now Time has lost map control against a Zerg who's favoring... Oh my god, is he ultra rushing? Oh, Dark. Oh my. Dark has had enough. I think he just loot. That's... Wow. Never mind. And it's over. Dark executes him. 1-1 finishes. He gets the surround and just rips his throat out. All right. Well, Dark is done with this series, and so am I. I hope you enjoyed what it was. A great game 1 and a great game 2 for efficiency reasons. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. What other series? Well, who's the best Zerg right now? What do you want to see? Leave a comment. Why can't anyone else play Zerg like that? Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Good luck, have fun. Stay chill.